If you have a Black-owned business, you are going to want to watch this. Hey guys, listen, I just wanted to stop by today to talk to you guys about the Black-owned business stigma. If you have a Black-owned business, this is not to bash you. This is no condemnation to anyone who has a business as an African American. However, I am coming today with some tips, some advice, some things to think about when it comes to the Black-owned business and the stigma that it can have, unfortunately. And it's not so much about the business, it's more tied to the individual character, the reputation, or the brand of that business. I'm telling you this because I have been, for the past year, over a year, have been consulting different clients about their businesses. And there's only so much that I can do as a marketing consultant or someone that could come and lay eyes on your business to tell you what's going on and what you need to improve and to grow and to thrive as a business. In order for things to really be changed from the inside out, there has to be a shift in the mindset of the business owner, in the mindset of those employees and the team and the other people who are also making that business run successfully. I am very fascinated with Black-owned businesses. I love to support Black-owned businesses because there was once a time when we did not have the opportunity to have businesses. You know, it wasn't until the early 1900s when different people started to establish these different businesses. And from that point on, we have seen an increase, a growth in Black-owned businesses across the United States, across the entire world. And it's such a beautiful thing. However, although we have increased in our acquisition of businesses, we have also carried, and again, this is not for every Black-owned business, but there are some who have carried a stigma that says to me that maybe I should not support you. I can't just support you just because you're Black. Maybe the overall idea is interesting that you have a Black-owned business, and that might get me in the door, but that can't keep me in the door. Your excellence, your fruit must speak for you. And if you are an excellent Black-owned business owner, congratulations, your fruit speaks for you. You've got incredible ratings, your customers are repeat customers, and your scores are good. You can always tell when you go online and you see the receipts and you see the reviews, you're gonna see that there's a consistent flow of excellence. There's a consistent trustworthiness. They are consistent in their service, in their communication, and all of the things that really help make their business what it is. It speaks to the quality of your brand. Your branding has been excellent and the reputation surrounding that brand has been important. But when you can start to see businesses that are going to 3 locations, 4 locations, 10 locations, then you can see there has been a preservation of the entire brand of the business. So it's just a few things that I want to talk to you about, maybe that you can brush up on. If you are falling in the category of the ones who may not have great reviews, then maybe you'll be able to benefit from these tips. And if you know someone who could benefit from these tips, then go ahead and send them the video. Number 1, we're gonna say time. Time is a big issue. Most of the time, your customers are going to want timely fashion in their service, whatever that service is. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has gone into a business, a nice Black-owned business, and the ambiance is nice and maybe the music's good, the nice aesthetics, everything just looks really nice. But then you get to a point where you order your food and you look down at your clock and it's been about 45 minutes and you still have not received your food. Yet you have some people that will come and say, oh, it's coming, it's coming, but it never comes, or it comes very late. There's no communication. And I think a few things factor into that. You have the lack of urgency from the team or from the servers or for the people that are working. You have a lack of urgency, and because there's a lack of urgency, you've got a lot of procrastinators. Some people are lazy, and because of that, then it now reflects on your ability to serve the customer. So now the customer is like, oh man, I've had to wait this long period of time to get service on my car or service, whatever it is. But that can be fixed by switching up the team, switching up the employees, switching up the culture of that workplace. I noticed that some people kind of feel like, well, we just have to get whoever we can get in here to work. And understandably so, I realize that sometimes it's hard to find, good workers in certain areas, for example. However, when people come to perceive what's going on, if they have an encounter with someone or a situation where they're not being taken care of, that reflects on the entire business, okay? And they may not, return because they had that bad experience with that one person. So a lot of times that can be nipped in the bud when you change your team. Also, if you change your processes and your systems, if you go back down the line and review the way that you are doing things, the way that things are taken care of. For example, once this is done, what is the next step? What are the next steps that are taking place when a customer comes into your orbit of your business? What is the first thing that the customer is experiencing, and what is the last thing? And sometimes you just have to go through that process, and it's very easy, but just making those little changes can change the entire aspect of the customer experience, which then in turn change your reviews in your business. Listen, I'm picking on Black-owned businesses today because I want us to do better. I want us to do fantastic. And it's not to say, by the way, that other businesses that are ran by different cultures do not have these problems. But again, we're trying to promote Black-owned businesses and we want them to be excellent. So I'm trying to help y'all today, okay? Number 2, I'm gonna say attitude, okay? Attitude is another issue. How many times have I gone into a restaurant for a Black-owned business? You got somebody who's obviously been having a bad day. Maybe they don't know how to talk. They haven't had a communication class. They're taking all of their problems from home and they're bringing them to work. So when you get there, they got a little attitude, hey, can I get, oh, you just gotta hold on a little bit because, we got something going on in the back. They got an attitude, or they're not excited about, working. And I understand, today's economy is very crazy and it's very easy to get boggled down into what you're getting paid, what kind of work you're having to do for what you're getting paid. But I am a firm believer that whatever you do, like the Bible says in the book of Colossians, whatever you do it wholeheartedly as unto the Lord. If you have made a decision to work somewhere, if you have made a decision to be a part of an organization, put your heart into it. Even if it's just for money, you are also putting yourself on the line. You're putting your reputation as an individual on the line. So you want to be known for doing great work. You want to be known for being excellent and for putting your best foot forward, not for going in there and just doing whatever you want, saying whatever you want, acting however way you want to act just because somebody said something or because, you're getting a little impatient. It happens. I understand. But when you're working for an organization that is not your own, you want to make sure that you're managing that properly. I also believe that when you manage the small things, when you manage other people's things and organizations well, when you have something going on, when you are ready to create your own business, when you have your own flow of properties, when those opportunities come, they'll be drawn to you because you have shown yourself to be a great manager of the small things. So now you can surely manage the greater things. So the attitude, sometimes I feel like Black-owned business owners have a sense of entitlement because they're like, oh, I'm that Black person that opened a business and I started a business in a company and I've got employees and I have this building, and sometimes you can kind of see there's a little bit of arrogance that runs in there. I don't know what it is. It's almost like a power trip. We start to feel ourselves a little bit. So then now we don't know how to treat people. We don't know how to handle our business correctly. So I would encourage you to work on your attitude. Talk to your teammates. Talk to the people who are working with you so that you can encourage an environment where people are kind and people are giving great customer service and people are patient, because you have to be patient to deal with other human beings on a daily basis. Again, this is what you signed up for. So if you did that, you have to understand it's not just about opening a business. It's not just about starting something so that you can build wealth for your family. You are in the business of service. So as you are serving others, you need to make sure that you are continually walking in excellence, walking in purity, and ultimately that you are serving the customer and that you are being humble about this opportunity, because it is an opportunity to serve. Remain humble through that process, and I believe you'll begin to see much fruit from that. the last thing that I'll go over, because it's a few different things, but I'm just gonna stick to a few in this video. All right, the last thing is the lingo. Okay, now I know that, you know, different cultures have different colloquialisms, different languages, different language types, different ways of expression, and that's fine. That's all good and well. I don't think that, you know, you should try to shut it down, like, especially like if you're in a certain area, you know, that just might be how you bring in customers, because your market might be the people in that area, and the people in that area might have a certain kind of lingo. But I think it's also important to recognize when you are in different environments and when you have a different kind of customer because of the location that you're in. A lot of times there are Black-owned businesses who are in really nice locations, or they're in locations that, you know, varies, where you have a lot of different kinds of people coming in. And one of the things that you have to remember is that some of the more upscale crowd, they like to leave reviews. So if you are in a area where there's a mixture of the two populations, or the few, however different kinds of populations, you have to be mindful of the kind of conversations that you're having. When you're in the environment of people who are really just like, they're coming in, they want a service and they're ready for that service to be taken care of. If you're in there and you're talking about, girl, my baby daddy, he wouldn't even pay my his child support child, you know what I'm saying? Or you in there like, man, I can't wait till I get my taxi, girl. When I go get my taxi, I'm going out of town. Listen, I already know. You know all of the conversations that we like to have on the side. You just don't seem like you are attentive. When you're having the wrong conversations, it just doesn't show any effort into what you're doing. It just makes the customer, and certain kind of customers too, because like I said, some people, they gonna leave a review. Reviews are very important. A lot of times people are coming out of town and they're looking for a good restaurant, or they're looking for a good place to take their car, or they're looking for somewhere where they can, you know, take their kids. And the first thing they're gonna look at are the reviews. So if their reviews are bad, you know, they're not going to be looking. They're like, well, they got bad reviews, so we're not taking our child there, or we're not taking our car there. You know, we're not going to eat there because their reviews are bad. It may have nothing to do with the food. It may have nothing to do with the actual systems that are in place to take care of the child. But it could just be that the communication was horrible, that people didn't talk to them nicely. You know, they had an attitude when they were talking to them. Or it could just be something like, you know, they were just talking amongst each other so much that I couldn't even hear myself like talk to whomever was in front of me. It can be something as small as that, but I'm telling you, I've had the opportunity to experience some of these things with some people and just see the difference between the appearance and also just the flat out show of excellence in your business. Are these things: time, attitude, and lingo, the communication, the things that are in place, and, you know, having the lack of systems to make sure that those things are better taken care of. So again, I think it all goes back to your team, the teammates, the environment, the culture that you're building as a business owner, and who you have in your circle, on your squad, on your team, the people that are going to be around you helping to push your vision. You need to make sure that those people are very like-minded. You need to make sure that you're not just pulling people in just so that somebody can get a job. That might be the case, but they need to show you that, you know, they are capable and able. So listen, I've got a brief announcement. All right. Listen, I was able to put my mom on payroll this past week. That was so amazing as of April 2024, and I have always wanted to do that. And again, this is just an example that, listen, my mom, she is my mother, she's my family. Some people will say don't mix business and family. I beg to differ. I think that if family even shows you that they are capable, willing, and able to do a job, then why not pay them versus somebody else? Okay, so I put my mom on payroll and I am so excited. That is one of the things that I have always wanted to do, and I can't wait to increase her pay over time. It's definitely gonna happen, but I just had to throw that out there because listen, She has been vetted. Over the years, she has showed herself faithful to be able to do what I would need for her to do in my business, in my company, in my life, okay? And so that goes for anybody that you are bringing into your team. Anybody that you're bringing on your team, make sure that they are aligned, that they are willing, that they are able and capable of doing what you're asking them to do. You know, a lot of people get deterred by the pay, but again, I believe that if, you know, they are agreeing to do a job, that they should be walking in excellence to do the job appropriately. And if not, it's okay to cut. You gotta prune the tree. You gotta prune the tree sometimes in order for new branches to grow. If you don't, then you'll just have a tree that has withering leaves. It'll have no fruit, and your business will be lacking in some way. And it may even be in a position to where you have to close down. But you don't want to have to do that. There is a way to shift and change that entire narrative just by going back to your team, your culture, and your systems and your processes. Hey guys, listen, I hope that you enjoyed that. I wanted to just share some things that I thought that would be helpful for Black-owned business owners and the things that you can do right now to change the trajectory of your business. All right guys, love you so much. I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye.